there, I'm Jen with Pressure Cooking Today, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Cosori air fryer. Over the last few years, the Cosori air fryer brand has taken off in popularity, and we've been getting more and more questions about how it compares to like the Instant Pot Duo Crisp or Pro Crisp, where it's the pressure cooker air fryer combo in one. And since we've been getting so many questions about it, we thought that we may as well film a video and answer your questions. So this is not sponsored, this is just our honest review. So let's get started. First, we're going to talk about the parts and how to clean them and get it set up. That way you're ready to go and get cooking. So with your air fryer, it's a little bit fewer parts to go through. You've just got the main like air fryer housing. I don't know, it's what we call the outside part of the pressure cooker. So we'll call it the housing, the base. I don't know. It's made out of plastic. It gets a little bit of grease on the sides. You can use a dishcloth with just a little tiny bit of like Dawn or Dawn Power Wash on it. Wipe it down and then use a damp cloth to wipe that off. You definitely don't want to get it wet at all. On the housing, it's got in the back, let's see if we can turn it. So it's got this big area where the air blows out, and it's got a little hot symbol over there. You want to make sure that your housing has enough space that you can, the user guide recommends 5 inches behind the sides and above, just to make sure that the air can flow nicely around there. So that's it for the housing. And then you've got your air fryer basket. The Cosori air fryer basket has a little button on top that you need to push. You push the button out and it lets the air fryer basket come out. This is what the air fryer basket looks like. It's got a little, cooking tray on the inside that looks kind of like a broiler pan that you'd have on your oven. It's got lots of little holes in there that lets the air flow around the food and through the food, and it lets the grease kind of fall down below. It's got these fun little silicone feet that fit in. So when you put it in, you want to make sure that you're putting it with the silicone feet down, and it just sets in there real nice. The basket itself is made out of a non-stick aluminum coated with a ceramic coating that's BPA free and good to go. So put that back in. It's always different doing these demos upside down. And when you put it in, you'll hear that little button click into place. And that's it. It's pretty easy compared to the pressure cooker. So you can see that the buttons on this are very similar if you've seen the Cosori pressure cooker. If that's a model you own, you can see that they're kind of long, narrow buttons. And they've grouped them in kind of a common sense way. This top row that has preheat, reheat, dry, bake, proof, and warm on it. Those are all, they cook at lower fan speeds. Some are 2, some are 3, some are 4. And then everything in this turbo mode cooks at the maximum fan speed. As you'll notice, you have a temperature changer and a time changer, but there's no way to change the fan speed. The only way to do that is with the button you select. So just keep that in mind. You can see right here on the dial, they've got the temperature, they've got the time, and then they've got a fan speed indicator. So if I were to hit like reheat, it's a 4, bake is a 3, proof is a 1. So that's kind of, and each of those presets have a set temperature range that you can go between. And the user manual is really well laid out. So if you're curious about that, you can just go there. But for our purposes, we're pretty much going to be using the air fry button. So you select air fry, and then you can use the temperature selectors to go up or down, same with your time. So that's basically the buttons. Now let's get started cooking. So one of the things that's unique about the Cosori compared to other basket style and toaster oven style and even the pressure cook style air fryers that I've tried out before, this one actually has a preheat button. So you would select preheat and then you have to hit start. And it sings you a little song, and then you can hear the fan come on, and at first the air blowing out is quite cool, but it quickly warms up. They said that when you're looking to be about 400, it'll take about 4 minutes. So when you're just getting started, we really recommend using a trusted recipe to get yourself familiar with your machine, and then once you kind of are familiar with how it works and how long to cook different kinds of foods, then you can start experimenting. I mean, if you want to jump right in and experiment right off the bat, go for it. I tend to be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more timid in the kitchen. Barbara often pushes me a little bit, so I tend to follow the recipe until I really feel like I know what I'm doing. So the air that's blowing out, it's blowing, sometimes I'll use it as a hand warmer. It's quite nice right now. It's blowing out, and it looks like it's still about 3 minutes until we reach our preheat setting. You can tell that that one is the one that's in place because it's turned orange instead of just the white. Okay, at this point, it gives you the nice little ding-a-ling and reads end, and then it tells you it's ready to go. So at this point, we would open our basket, and be careful. We would add our food in, whether it's, we make a lot of Costco chicken nuggets in this baby, but you would add your food, and then when you're ready, go ahead and replace it. It's hot. Select air fry, whatever your time and temperature you'd like to do, and then hit start. And now you'll notice it says it's cooking. It tells you the fan speed, the cook time, the air fry is open. If you had it set and you've added your food and then you're like, oh no, I didn't actually change the cooking temperature, you can go ahead and adjust that right here. If you hit this button, it will pause it at any time, which is really useful for, like, say you're cooking French fries. You want to make sure that the fries on the bottom of the air fryer basket and the top of the air fryer basket are cooked evenly. So I always like to, midway through, maybe a couple times if I'm doing French fries, pull it out and give the basket a good shake. Use some tongs to toss the French fries. Okay, so we'll press play again. I'm going to adjust the time all the way down to a minute just so you can see what happens. Again, it does that same 60-second countdown so you know when it's close to done. So as you see, the cook time's almost out. We'll watch, it'll beep and it'll read end. At which point you know that the cook time is ended and it's safe to open the basket. Push the button to open the drawer. And then I immediately get the basket out. It's quite hot, so you've got to keep in mind, don't touch the metal part. I have done that a couple times. And then I'll go set it on a trivet or an oven or something. Then I'll get the corn dogs or the chicken nuggets out or whatever. And then just let it cool. I'll put it back in. So, and then as you can see, it reset. It's ready to go again. Just turn it off if you want to. One thing that it does have that is nice is a warm setting. This warm setting keeps it at 170 degrees. You notice you cannot adjust the cook temperature up or down. Warm is just 170 degrees. And if you hit play, it will just stay at this temperature for 30 minutes. Sometimes that's nice if you have, say, like a baked potato or something that you are not too worried about overcooking. It's nice to be able to keep it in there on warm until everything with your meal is ready to serve. However, keep in mind that it will still continue cooking just at a much lower temperature while it's on that warm. So anything that you're worried about drying out, I would probably avoid the warm setting. All right, and just to quickly touch on some of the other settings, we did the preheat. Reheat is great for leftovers. This dry one is essentially lets you use your air fryer as a dehydrator. So if you're interested in making like dried apple slices or jerky or something like that, that's what this one's used, the dry setting's used for. Again, when you're getting started, you'll want to follow a trusted recipe just to make sure that your food turns out the way you want it to. Bake allows you to use your air fryer kind of like a convection oven, and so anything that is small enough that would fit in the air fryer basket and leave room for, like if you're making a cake, you want to make sure that the cake pan, that you leave enough room for the cake to rise a little bit and still be able to open it, because it's such a bummer when you've got this beautiful cake and you open it up and it like scrapes off the top layer. Learn from my mistakes. Proof is for allowing bread dough to rise, but the user manual, it also said that you can cook yogurt. You can ferment the yogurt, that like 8-hour setting at that. I've never tried it, but it's in their user manual. I'm a little bit curious. So that's out there if you want to do it. But basically that's all there is to the Cosori air fryer. It's a really great machine, a really great model, and we've had some really yummy meals out of it. So if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. And we will post a link in our description for the Cosori, for accessories for it, and for our review post about it. So yeah, that's it. I hope you like it. As always, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks.